The atmosphere in the room hung heavy with tension as Alina stared at Bruce, her husband of 10 years. The soft glow of the living room's warm lights seemed to mock the turmoil that churned within her. Bruce's voice cut through the silence like a cold wind. "I've decided it's time for a change," Bruce declared, his eyes devoid of the warmth Alina once knew. "I've transferred the house to my parents, and I think it's best if we go our separate ways." Alina's heart pounded in her chest, disbelief and hurt etched across her face. "Bruce, what are you saying? This is our home, the one we built together." He met her gaze with an unflinching coldness. "It was, but things change. You need to leave." The weight of his words settled on Alina like a heavy stone. The dream home they had envisioned together was slipping through her fingers, and the man she loved had become a stranger. She found her voice, laced with desperation. "Why, Bruce? What happened to us?" Bruce's dismissive laugh echoed in the room. "People change, Alina. I've changed. It's time for you to move on." The room seemed to close in on Alina as the reality of the betrayal sank in. "But why transfer the house to your parents? What about us?" "It's not about us anymore," Bruce replied, his tone unyielding. "My parents want the house, and it's done. You're an outsider now." The words hung in the air, sealing Alina's fate. The man she had built a life with was now kicking her out, and the dream they had shared was shattered. In the silence that followed, Alina gathered what little strength remained in her and spoke, her voice a whisper of defiance. "I won't let this be the end, Bruce. I deserve an explanation." But Bruce, unmoved, simply turned away, leaving Alina standing alone in the once beloved home that had become a symbol of her betrayal. As Alina navigates the aftermath of Bruce's shocking revelation, she takes a painful trip down memory lane to understand how their once loving relationship had crumbled. The chapter opens with Alina recalling the early days of their marriage, the warmth of shared laughter and dreams. She remembers the gentleness in Bruce's eyes and the kindness that once defined their relationship. However, the narrative then takes a darker turn as Alina chronicles the subtle shifts in Bruce's behavior. The once affectionate partner transforms into someone unrecognizable. Alina, as the storyteller, recounts instances where Bruce's demands became more authoritative, where his compliments turned into criticism. "Slow down, Alina. I asked for a light-flavored soup, not something that tastes like it's been watered down," Bruce would say, his tone growing increasingly condescending. "I can't believe you can't get this right," he'd remark, dismissing Alina's efforts in the kitchen. The dialogue echoes in Alina's mind as she reflects on the constant changes in Bruce's preferences, the irrational complaints that seemed to have no resolution. "It wasn't about the taste. He just wanted to complain and trouble me," she muses, recognizing the childish behavior that marked the erosion of their marital bliss. As the years progress, Bruce's once loving nature is replaced by easily triggered anger and verbal abuse. Alina describes the emotional toll of living with a partner who seemed to find fault in everything she did. "I used to wonder what caused James to change this much," Alina reflects, using Bruce's name interchangeably, emphasizing the emotional distance that has grown between them. The pivotal moment comes when Bruce quits his job without explanation, leaving Alina to bear the financial burden alone. The once happy home transforms into a tense battleground, with Bruce contributing little to the household responsibilities. In a conversation, Alina confronts Bruce about his changing behavior, trying to understand the root cause. "Why have you become so distant, Bruce? We used to be a team," she pleads. But Bruce, now indifferent, dismisses her concerns. "Life changes, Alina. Get used to it," he retorts, the empathy that once defined their connection seemingly evaporated. The chapter concludes with Alina grappling with the realization that the man she married has become a stranger, and the love that once bound them has eroded into a painful memory. Alina's life takes an unexpected turn as her in-laws, Clark and Evelyn, begin frequenting her home. bringing with them an unwelcome air of criticism and discontent. The chapter unfolds with Alina attempting to maintain a semblance of normalcy amidst the unsettling visits. Clark and Evelyn's arrival feels like an intrusion, their judgmental gazes scrutinizing every corner of the house. The once secure space now echoes with their disapproval. One evening, as Alina prepares dinner, Clark comments, "Sally, this soup is too strong. Can't you get anything right?" His use of the wrong name adds an additional layer of discomfort, emphasizing the sense of alienation Alina feels. Evelyn chimes in, her tone cutting, "It's a shame that our son has to live in such a place. You could have done better, Alina." The words hang in the air, and Alina fights to maintain composure in the face of their blatant disdain. The dialogue escalates, and Alina finds herself constantly defending her choices. "This is my home, and Bruce and I built it together. It's not your place to criticize," she retorts, her voice a mix of frustration and defiance. Yet the visits persist, and Clark and Evelyn's displeasure becomes increasingly evident. Alina senses a hidden agenda, a plan that involves claiming the house for themselves. Their interactions leave her feeling isolated and pressured, as if the walls of her own home are closing in. In a moment of confrontation, Alina asks, "Why are you here? What do you want from me?" Clark and Evelyn exchange a knowing glance, offering vague reassurances that only deepen Alina's sense of unease. The chapter concludes with Alina grappling with the realization that the toxicity in her life has expanded beyond her relationship with Bruce. The unwelcome presence of her in-laws intensifies her desire to break free from the suffocating environment, pushing her towards a decision that will redefine her future. Determined to uncover the truth behind the unsettling behavior of her husband, Bruce, and her in-laws, Clark and Evelyn, Alina takes matters into her own hands. She installs surveillance cameras, hoping to reveal the secrets hidden within the walls of her once happy home. The chapter opens with Alina carefully placing cameras in strategic locations, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation. As the footage starts to accumulate, Alina discovers a series of clandestine meetings between Bruce and his parents, their hushed conversations and exchanged glances raising suspicions. In a pivotal moment captured by the surveillance, Bruce declares, "Once Alina leaves, the house will be ours. We'll finally have control." The shocking revelation sends a shiver down Alina's spine as she witnesses the collusion that threatens to rob her of the home she had helped build. As Alina reviews more footage, the extent of the conspiracy becomes clearer. Clark and Evelyn inspect each room, discussing future plans with Bruce, who seems more than willing to relinquish ownership of the house. In a conversation that sends Alina reeling, Bruce coldly says, "She's an outsider now, Dad. We can't let her stand in the way of our plans." The callousness of his words confirms the depth of the betrayal Alina is facing. The chapter reaches a climax as Alina, armed with irrefutable evidence, confronts Bruce about his deceit. "How could you do this? I trusted you, Bruce," she exclaims, her voice trembling with a mixture of anger and hurt. Bruce, caught off guard, stammers, "Alina, it's not what you think." But Alina, fueled by a newfound determination, refuses to be swayed by his feeble attempts at justification. "I deserve the truth," she asserts, the weight of her words hanging in the air. The revelations leave Alina with a daunting decision to make: to confront her in-laws and her unfaithful husband, or to quietly plot her escape. The secrets unveiled through the surveillance cameras propel her towards a path of empowerment, setting the stage for the next chapter in her journey to reclaim control over her life. Empowered by the damning evidence she uncovered through the surveillance cameras, Alina decides it's time to take control of her destiny. With a steely resolve, she begins crafting a meticulous escape plan, determined to break free from the toxic environment that has ensnared her. The chapter opens with Alina, fueled by a mix of anger and determination, researching and strategizing her departure. She contacts real estate agents, seeking a new home that will serve as her sanctuary. Each property visit becomes a symbol of her liberation, a step away from the life she once knew. In a dialogue with a real estate agent, Alina asserts, "I need a fresh start, away from everything. A place where I can rebuild my life." The agent, sensing the urgency in Alina's voice, nods empathetically, understanding the gravity of her situation. As Alina sifts through legal documents, her conversations with lawyers become vital in securing her assets and protecting herself from the impending storm. "I want to ensure there's no way they can manipulate me legally," she states firmly, recognizing the importance of covering every angle in her escape plan. Alina confronts Bruce with her decision, her voice unwavering. "I won't let you and your parents take everything from me. I'm leaving," she declares, the words a declaration of independence. Bruce, now realizing the gravity of the situation, attempts to dissuade her, but Alina remains resolute. The escape plan involves careful logistics, discreetly moving her belongings and securing a new residence. Dialogues with friends who become her allies in this journey reflect the unwavering support she has garnered. "You're doing the right thing, Alina. We're here for you," they reassure her, reinforcing the strength of the bonds she has outside the walls of her disintegrating home. The chapter reaches its climax as Alina, surrounded by packed boxes and the remnants of her former life, takes a final, lingering look at the house that once held her dreams. "This is not the end, it's a new beginning," she whispers to herself, the echo of those words marking the initiation of her escape plan. As Alina closes the door behind her, leaving behind the shadows of betrayal, the reader is left with a sense of anticipation. The escape plan sets in motion a journey of self-discovery and resilience, promising a future where Alina can rebuild her life on her own terms. Alina's departure leaves Bruce and his parents in the wake of a financial storm they never anticipated. The consequences of their actions unravel as they discover the changed name on the house loan documents, sending shockwaves through their lives. The chapter begins with Bruce, his face pale and eyes widened, staring at the paperwork that exposes the altered loan details. In a moment of realization, he mutters, "What has she done?" The weight of the financial fallout becomes palpable as he contemplates the implications of Alina's strategic move. In a heated conversation between Bruce and his parents, Clark demands, "How could you let her do this? We can't afford to lose the house." Evelyn, equally distressed, adds, "This wasn't part of the plan. We need to figure out how to fix this mess." Bruce, trying to salvage the situation, insists, "We'll find a way. I won't let her ruin us." The trio grapples with the harsh reality that Alina's departure has not only shattered their personal lives, but also thrown their financial stability into disarray. A dialogue with their mortgage advisor reveals the severity of the situation. "You're now solely responsible for the loan," the advisor explains. "Defaulting could lead to serious consequences, including losing the house entirely." As they contemplate their dwindling options, Bruce's once indifferent attitude transforms into a desperate plea. "We need to figure this out together. I can't lose everything," he implores his parents. The financial fallout forces them into a corner, leaving them with the daunting task of navigating a crisis they never foresaw. In a moment of vulnerability, Clark reflects on the consequences of their actions, acknowledging, "We underestimated her. Alina was stronger than we thought." The acknowledgement of their miscalculation adds a layer of complexity to their strained relationship. The chapter concludes with the financial fallout serving as a stark reminder of the repercussions of their manipulation and deceit. As Bruce and his parents grapple with the impending crisis, Alina's independence and resilience become even more pronounced, setting the stage for the next chapter in their tumultuous journey. Embracing her newfound independence, Alina dives into a world where her passion for handmade crafts becomes both a refuge and a source of empowerment. The chapter unfolds with Alina turning her focus towards her creative pursuits, finding solace and strength in the act of crafting. The narrative captures the transformation of Alina's spare room into a vibrant studio filled with threads, beads, and the tools of her trade. As she meticulously creates intricate pieces of handmade jewelry, her sense of self-worth begins to rekindle. In a dialogue with a friend who marvels at her creations, Alina responds, "This is more than just a hobby now. It's my way of reclaiming my identity and proving that I can thrive on my own terms." The conversation highlights the significance of her craft as a form of self-expression and a means of financial independence. Alina's blog, chronicling her crafting journey, gains unexpected attention, opening doors to new opportunities. In a conversation with a potential client, she asserts, "I've learned that turning my passion into a livelihood isn't just a dream, it's my reality now, and I couldn't be happier." As Alina starts receiving requests to serve as an instructor for workshops and courses related to handmade crafts, her confidence soars. A dialogue with a workshop attendee captures the impact of her teachings. "You've inspired me to embrace my creativity and pursue my passion." "Thank you," the attendee expresses, mirroring the transformative effect Alina's journey has on others. The chapter is marked by moments of self-discovery, where Alina not only finds success in her craft, but also redefines her sense of purpose. The act of creating becomes a therapeutic process, mending the wounds of the past and paving the way for a brighter future. In a reflective dialogue with herself, Alina muses, "Crafting isn't just about making beautiful things. It's about molding a new life, one that I design and control." The chapter concludes with Alina basking in the fulfillment of her creative endeavors, poised to continue her journey of crafting a life that is uniquely her own. As Alina establishes herself independently, the lingering shadows of her past return in the form of a confrontation with Bruce and his parents. The chapter unfolds with a tense atmosphere as Alina faces the people who once orchestrated her downfall. The opening scene captures the awkward silence as Alina, resolute and composed, confronts Bruce and his parents in a neutral setting. In a moment charged with palpable tension, Alina breaks the silence. "We need to talk," she declares, her voice unwavering. Bruce, attempting to maintain a semblance of control, scoffs, "What do you want, Alina? You got what you wanted, didn't you?" Alina, however, refuses to be dismissed. "I want answers. I want to know why you did this to me," she retorts, her eyes reflecting a mixture of pain and determination. Clark and Evelyn exchange uncomfortable glances, realizing that this confrontation is not going to be easily brushed aside. In a whispered dialogue between the parents, Clark admits, "We might have underestimated her strength. This won't be as simple as we thought." The conversation unfolds as Alina demands transparency and accountability. "You took away my home, my security. I won't let you walk away without explaining why," she asserts. Bruce, now cornered, attempts to deflect blame, but Alina remains steadfast in her pursuit of the truth. In a charged moment of confrontation, Alina confronts Clark and Evelyn directly. "You treated me like an outsider in my own home. Why?" The parents, caught off guard by Alina's assertiveness, struggle to find words to justify their actions. Bruce, realizing the gravity of the situation, attempts to play the victim. "You left, Alina. You abandoned us," he accuses. Alina, undeterred, responds, "I left because I had to. But you orchestrated this from the beginning. I won't let you rewrite the narrative." The chapter concludes with a sense of unresolved tension as Alina, having confronted her past, walks away, leaving Bruce and his parents to grapple with the consequences of their actions. The confrontation becomes a pivotal moment in Alina's journey, marking the beginning of closure and a renewed sense of empowerment. In the final chapter, Alina embraces the opportunities of a fresh start, liberated from the shackles of her tumultuous past. The narrative unfolds with a sense of closure and the promise of a brighter future. The chapter opens with Alina, having confronted the ghosts of her past, determined to forge ahead. As she settles into her new home, The air is charged with a sense of freedom and renewal. A dialogue with herself encapsulates the essence of this moment. This is my chance for a new beginning. No more looking back. The narrative captures the support Alina receives from friends who have been integral to her journey. In a heartfelt dialogue, a friend expresses, "You've shown us what resilience looks like. Here's to new beginnings." The camaraderie reflects the strength Alina has gained through her trials. As Alina continues to thrive in her handmade crafts endeavors, she receives an unexpected letter. In a dialogue with a friend who hands her the envelope, Alina reads aloud, "Dear Alina, we acknowledge the mistakes we made and the pain we caused. Wishing you a future filled with happiness." The letter, while not a full admission of guilt, marks a symbolic step towards closure. The chapter is punctuated by moments of self-reflection as Alina gazes at the horizon from her new home. In a poignant dialogue with herself, she muses, "I've reclaimed my life, my identity. The past doesn't define me anymore." The words resonate with the reader, encapsulating the transformative journey Alina has undertaken. In a concluding scene, Alina participates in a local handmade crafts exhibition showcasing her creations. A dialogue with an impressed visitor captures the essence of Alina's triumph. "Your work is exceptional. What's your story?" Alina smiles, responding, "It's a story of resilience, reinvention, and a new beginning." The final chapter closes with a sense of optimism and the promise of endless possibilities. Alina's journey, marked by betrayal, confrontation, and self-discovery, culminates in a celebration of her strength and the embrace of a future she has crafted on her terms.